This is security. You gotta do it. Keep you safe. Hey guys, I'm Nate. Welcome back to the channel. All right, so today we gotta talk about security measures in these cars and how it's getting a little bit crazy. Is the need for manufacturers to control the aftermarket, get a little bit of taste from that aftermarket tuning, causing us to lose some rights on our cars in terms of modifications? I think so. Dodge has their direct connection catalog now, your tuning packages, everything for your Hellcats. I mean, I don't think everything is fully released yet, but what's the benefit of buying from the manufacturer? Well, you get that warranty, it works, it's all considered safe, right? Now, but you could do this in the aftermarket also, right? So you could go, you have to go buy a new ECU and plug it in and do all this other stuff. So now that was the big thing. When Dodge released this refresh, you had to get a new ECU if you wanted to do any type of tuning on your car. Now I remember in 2011, my 392 that I had, all I needed was a Diablo Sport tuner and I could tune it. Conservative tunes, right? Unless you wanted to go and get like a custom tune from someone else. They had some out-of-the-box tunes inside the tuner itself that give you like, I don't know, 10, 20 horsepower. If you had some bolt-ons, like exhaust, whatever it was. With the refresh, they completely locked you out of the ECU. So it's now like all encrypted, you couldn't do anything in there. And yeah, I think it was mostly they didn't want people going in there and tuning cars and maybe creating warranty issues for them, even though they'll deny your warranty claim if they find that your car has been tuned. But they didn't want any of that stuff, and they didn't really have any aftermarket, well, we wouldn't call it aftermarket at that point. They didn't really have any OEM tuning options from the factory, but now they do, right? So I mean, you think about it, all plays into that captive audience. You can't get your tunes anywhere else, you have to go to the manufacturer. And if you look at it nowadays, a lot of stuff is moving in this direction. I don't know that we'd say Tesla is the pioneer, maybe they are, but you get a Tesla, you want upgrades, you want the full self-driving, you want this feature, you want that feature, you can pay for it and they unlock it and you get that feature, right? And BMW is moving in a similar direction. What they're trying to do is cut costs in terms of distributing the cars, so they can distribute the same exact car with the same features but just leave them off, because I think it costs them less money to do it that way, even though the parts are actually installed in the car, than to have custom builds. This build has heated seats, this build doesn't have heated seats, etc., etc. And then they can just turn it on with like a quick software feature. So BMW took a lot of flack for this in one of their recent cars, where they're delivering the car with the heated seat module, but you can turn it on, you have to pay a subscription, then you're paying, I don't know, like $5 a month for your heated seats, something crazy. But that's where everyone's moving, recurring revenue. So even if you have a car that you decide you want to keep on the road for 10 years, well, guess what? You're paying for those heated seats over 10 years, unless I guess you could buy it up front. And as we move to electric vehicles, same thing, right? You want ludicrous mode, you want that more power, you want them an increase. Well, it's the same motor, same mechanics. Let's just juice a little bit of more money out of this customer and have them pay for that upgrade, right? A little bit harder to do with gasoline engines, because now with gasoline engines, you potentially need a new ECU, you need to remap the computer. That all hasn't, I guess, been worked out to do that over the air yet. But a lot of nuances go into that. Some of the Dodge performance stuff requires a new pulley to spin the supercharger fast, like all of these different things, right? So a little bit harder, but with electric, super easy to milk a little bit extra money there with an over-the-air tune. With gasoline, have you seen what Ford's doing on the next model? So Ford, if you guys have been out there rock and haven't heard, is gonna have a new generation Mustang, right? So the next gen Mustang on the Ford, you're still gonna have that juicy GT V8. It's gonna be glorious, but they're locking down the whole car, and they're doing it in the name, as always, of security. So what you're gonna get is you're gonna get a Mustang GT that's gonna be almost impossible to tune. Now, I say almost because they've done it before, right? So I mean, when the Challenger came out with this refresh, it's like, oh, this car's impossible to tune, can't bake the encryption, can't do this, can't do that. And then companies like Diablo Sport, I think, were paving the way when they found out, okay, yeah, you know, we can just swap the ECU with an ECU that has the encryption disabled, and then you can do whatever you need to do. Keep your stock ECU, send it in as a core charge, whatever you want to do. But now with Mustang, what they're talking about is the whole system is going to be encrypted, right? All the different modules, not just the ECU. So I don't know that that's going to work, because if each component, each module is expecting to be sent, whatever electrical signals they're sending are going to be signed with the key from the module that's sending it, you can't break that. If you break that chain with an untrusted module, nothing's going to work. The car will just fundamentally not work. And then I'm sure Ford will have their factory program to sell you those tunes, right? So basically put the aftermarket out of business, but then have a program where you can still get some increase in power. But you think that increase in power is going to be anywhere close to what the aftermarket is achieving? No way. Because if the factory's providing it to you, then the factory is going to most likely provide it to you with a warranty. And they have to be emission certified and all this other stuff. So they're not going to be providing you these crazy tunes that you can probably get from the aftermarket. And now what happens if you want to put a supercharger on it? Well, now I don't even know how you're going to tune the car to get a supercharger on it, unless it's a supercharger that the factory offers, right? Now the security guys for this is basically, oh, we've got to secure the cars from hackers and people can, you know, mess with your cars. I don't know that this has really been a problem. Like, have you guys had problems where you come back to your car and like someone's installed like a Trojan in like the trunk lid or something like that, where it just keeps opening on its own, a literal back door into your car? I haven't seen that be an issue, but it's very easy to sell something when it's under the guise of security, right? It's like, oh, this is security, you gotta do it, keep you safe. No, you don't need to keep me safe, I'm good with my car. So this is where I think more and more of the industry is going. They're gonna try and sell you on this with the security aspect of it, lock your cars down, and then you're not going to be able to do anything. Look how hard it is for you to work on a Tesla. So now this is now talking when we go electric. Look how hard it is for you to work on Tesla. There's that guy Rich Beno. He has his YouTube channel that he still does it. They don't like it, but they try to make it extremely difficult for you to work on a Tesla aftermarket. I understand there's some high voltage running through there, so there's, you know, potential safety issue. If that's really an issue and that you can't kind of keep that isolated, well, what does that mean? So what that means is when we go electric, you're not going to be able to modify your car, you're not going to be able to tune it. Like, that's it. You basically have a dishwasher on wheels and just drive it around like an appliance. It's purely transportation. Like, this whole car enthusiast, all of that stuff goes away. So it'll be interesting to see how Dodge plays this game when they release their EV. And they did say at SEMA that they're going to be releasing an EV with a little bit more options in terms of power. So we'll see how that works out. But I don't know, guys. This is heading into some weird territory. Anyways, what do you guys think about this whole security versus customizability thing? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out these next ones and I'll see you there. Thanks. Bye.